What's up guys, Rainer here, back again. Today we'll be playing as Ymir, because I realized I haven't done all the free gods yet. Ymir comes to us in Smite as a guardian, and a very good guardian too. He's a free guardian, so I mean anybody can play him at any time, and he's also very good, which is more than I can say for some of the other freebies, but especially when in comparison to the other members of their kit or class. You may notice that my Ymir does not look like your normal Ymir. That's because I have the Obsidian Shard skin on him. I don't have Cyber Ymir. So here we go. We're going in hard. Gonna pick up a couple of quick kills. Thanks to use my entire kit except for my ultimate, allowing our team to pick up that quick double at the beginning. So, speaking of his entire kit, let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? His passive, Frostbite. All of Ymir's abilities that affect enemies' ability to all of Ymir's abilities that affect enemies apply a debuff to the enemy called Frostbite. All of Ymir's basic strikes against a target afflicted by Frostbite do 100% more damage. So you use your ability, and then you walk in and you punch him in the face. That's basically how it works. It's very simple, very effective. His one, Ice Wall, you've seen me use it once already to wall off the escape of the guy I killed earlier. It's basically what it is. It's a wall. He drops his wall down in front, and people can't walk through it. Wall placement with Ymir is something that you need to practice and get good with. You got to learn how to place your walls so that your opponents can't escape them. Putting them up against a surface, like another wall in lane, great place to put it to keep your targets from getting away. Putting them down in places so that they can't get away. Another excellent use. Or I mean not so they can't get away, so they can't get out of another ability, like Poseidon's Whirlpool, like you saw me use just a minute ago. So that's one of Ymir's biggest challenges, is getting to use his walls effectively. I am by no means a Ymir expert. I would say I'm good with Ymir, especially here in Arena. Ymir's a great arena god. His 2, Glacial Strike, you've seen me use it a couple of times already. Primarily an excellent wave clear. It works really well as a wave clear. It also does really good damage. There it is right there, in case you need to know, as I use it to finish off Thor. He slams his club down on the ground and causes a trail of ice to go out, and then the spikes come up and do a bunch of damage. Now this damage caps out really, really high in the 370, as well as 70% of your magical power. Just, like, a ton of damage. When your enemies get hit by the spikes, it also slows them for 35 seconds, by 35% for 4 seconds. Good lord, don't say the wrong thing. So it just further allows your team to get in and get hits on the enemy. His 3, Frost Breath, you've seen me use that a couple of times already as well. He breathes frost out and freezes the enemy solid. This can be used in a number of ways. One is a stun, and as you gain level in it, his stun duration just gets longer and longer, which is, it's fantastic. It ends up capping out at about 210 damage, plus 50% of your power. And then in the stun duration, it caps out at about 2.25 seconds. So they take a ton of damage, and they're a free hit for your 2. And then they just take a tremendous slow. Here you're gonna see I tried to drop my freeze there to save Nemesis. Couldn't quite get it off in time because my cooldowns are still long. I've only got Sovereignty built right now. But you can use his Frost Breath here to freeze people in the middle of abilities that are activated. Examples would be Thor's Spin to Win. Thor drops his spin and you freeze him. It stops him cold and interrupts the ability. But it also triggers his cooldown as well. Another one would be Guan Yu with his Taolo Assault. It's just a great ability to have. Just very good utility. And it's very easy to use. It's very easy to understand. It's a cone. It's right in front of him. staying in this fight way longer than I should, but my allies are here and we're getting kills. So I'm effectively 100% out of health and mana, so I'm going to back to base. Okay, his final ability, Shards of Ice. You've seen me use it once, I died during it. Ymir begins to freeze the air around him, causing shards to grow on his back, and then slowing enemies. After 3 seconds of a channel, the explosion, he'll explode outwards, shooting his ice outward in attack pattern. And it does probably some of the most damage an ability can do in Smite. It caps out at 1100 damage plus 150% of your magical power, and it'll slow your enemies by 30% when they're in the ability and he's channeling it. Just a monumental amount of damage can be done with this ability. You can also activate it earlier, before the ability's fully done being channeled, but this will decrease the damage. I don't know how much it'll decrease it by, but you can figure it out. I've seen Ymirs drop it immediately, just put it down and explode immediately. I've seen people wait the full 3 seconds. I typically wait the full 3. Here it is right here. Watch me just erase some health off of this Freya. 712. And I've only got 3 points in it. So, I mean, that's just a tremendous amount of damage that I just dealt. Especially for a Guardian. So, Ymir is just a fantastic Guardian that has just a wealth of good items in his, or good abilities in his kit to really enable you to really put down some hurt on your own, let alone helping your teammates out. Let's move into item build before we talk about strategies. A good way to start Ymir is to start off with Watcher's Gift, since you'll be playing as Guardian. And then pick up either Midas Boots or Reinforced Greaves. It's really a personal choice. I don't like Midas Greaves personally, just because I don't feel like they give you as much extra gold as, you know, it seems like they do. I mean, it says that you get more, but I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's not that much. So I prefer Reinforced Greaves. That's just me. In Arena here, I clearly don't have. I've got Focus Boots because I have cooldowns. But we're talking about Conquest. Next up, and this is my builds for like a typical lane. So you got a Guardian and a Kit. So I mean, if you get non-typical builds, you're gonna have to deal non-typical comps. You're gonna have a non-typical build. Here I drop my ultimate again and fall immediately, but still did a mess of damage. Anyway, next up after Midas Boots, you know, Reinforced Greaves, whatever you want. You follow that up with Sovereignty. Sovereignty is just an excellent all-around ability. It really helps you deal with the carry in your lane, junglers that come to gank, and just general team fights by giving all of you and all of your allies around you physical protection. Or physical and magical protections. Next up, Stone of Gaia. I love Stone of Gaia. One, it gives you good magical protections for your fights, and you get good health regen. Health regen is just a beautiful thing. I love health regen on Guardians, just because, I mean, one, they already just have 1,000,000 health, and two, they don't lose health very fast, so gaining health back on them is just, it's a beautiful thing. Next up, Magi's Blessing. Magi's Blessing is going to help you deal with crowd control so that you aren't CC'd for 10 years. It's funny that you watch that Thor wander into my ability. Classic Thor. An enemy has been slain. So yeah, Magi's Blessing will allow you to deal with some of the crowd control you're going to have to deal with. It's not going to be good for prolonged crowd control durations, but it's going to be enough to be able to help. As you can see, I'm crowd controlled currently because I don't have Magi's because it's an arena. And then on final item, I would say Ethereal Staff, just because it allows you to turn your health into power. And power, I mean, Ymir can do just a phenomenal amount of damage. He really can. As well as be able to take a lot of that damage. He's a really excellent tank. He doesn't get a lot of love in the ranked levels, just because Gab and Athena are just crowd control monstrosities, as well as Kumbhakarna. But I still love Ymir for a good arena fight. He's so good in arena and assault, and even conquest. Still, he's very well rounded to play in every game. So, now that we've got through his build and his kit, let's talk about some gameplay. So, what I'm basically playing here is Ymir. I'm currently low on mana, so I'm not playing too hard. I'm constantly looking for somebody to overextend into my team, which typically it's been Kumbhakarna as of late. But anybody to just drop in here and drop my stun on them. Just because my stun lasts long enough that my allies can put down a lot of damage. There you see we dropped Kumbha just because he was unable to escape or deal any kind of damage to us in the amount of time he was there. I'm also out of mana right now, so I can't really commit too hard to this fight. When it comes to playing Ymir for strategy, the one thing you want to watch for is somebody that overextends a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, because your freeze, it'll last for 2.5 seconds, and it's not like a mesmerize that Kumbhakarna has or Apollo, where if you hit them, it breaks that stun. They stay stunned. So what you do is you drop that freeze on them, put your wall up behind them, and then hit them with your ice path or whatever you want to call it. And one, they'll be frozen, so your carry will just be dropping damage on them. Two, they won't be able to just immediately run away. They'll have to actually stay within range of your carry for an extended period of time. And then they're going to take a big chunk of damage from your two. So I mean, it's just a great play to put down. One thing you got to watch out for when you drop that play is be careful of overusing it. Just because, I mean, it's a lot of mana to drop. And it's not like people aren't going to like eventually just, you know, they're going to eventually start to be able to survive it, and they're going to learn that they can punish you for using that. If they focused on your carry, Ymir doesn't have any escapes. The one escape that, I mean, this has been a thing he's been able to do forever, is if you drop your wall directly at your feet, and I mean look straight down when you drop your wall. You can put your wall down at your feet, and it'll come up behind you and block off the enemy behind you. I think Drybear came up with that, like, when we first started playing Smite. I shouldn't say we, because that implies I know him and have played with him. That's not a thing. But, I mean, he came up with that a long, long time ago during the beta. And it's still very useful today to stop people from chasing you. One of the more advanced techniques to learn with Ymir is, you see I've got it now, is I've got my Blink leveled. Blink Ymir is very, very good. I'm not going to use Blink really ever, if we're being honest here. Because it's arena? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's late at night, I apologize. Picking up a sick kill there on Thor, thinking he's going to get away. And then Kumbha missed his ult, which was hilarious. Anyway, Blink Ymir. It works really well because people don't expect it to happen. I mean, what you do, the move is that you blink in, and then you drop your 3-2-1 or 3-1-2 combo. So it happens so quickly that they aren't ready for it, and there's really nothing they can do to counter it. So Blink Ymir just, I mean, it helps at the higher levels, Blink Ymir, to get your combos in on the people when you need them. If you got any questions about how to play Ymir or any general strategy, or if you think you know something that I don't, by all means, leave in the comments below. This is an open forum. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on Ymir. I would consider myself a good Ymir player. I just don't play him very often because he's free, and I've played a lot of Ymir back in my beta days. So, this has been Rainer. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.